on the breaking news we've been following all morning long. A horrific situation in suburban Denver. A mass shooting inside a theater jammed with people to see the new Batman movie.
14 people were killed, 50 injured. This is a live look at the movie theater right now. This is in a community called Aurora, Colorado, which is outside of Denver, about 10 miles or so. The shooting happened at about 1:30 Central Time. And reports are that a man just stood up in the front of the theater and started shooting. For more on what happened, let's go to NBC's Tracy Potts. She is live in Washington, D.C. for us this morning, monitoring the story. What a terrible day, Tracy.
Absolutely, and we've been watching these pictures come in from Denver all morning long. Most of them of the parking lot, the scene around that theater where this happened. In fact, police officers, the first ones to arrive on the scene, said it was so horrific they started putting injured victims in their patrol cars, taking them directly to the hospital as opposed to waiting for ambulances. That's how serious it was when they first arrived on the scene. So what are we learning about this suspect? Apparently he has given a name to authorities there, but they haven't released the name. They're still trying to verify that's exactly who he is. He's 24 years old. We now understand that he had 3 weapons with him in addition to that canister of tear gas, which he released and then opened fire with one of these 3 weapons, 2 handguns and a long gun. He had Tennessee plates on his car, we're told, even though he said he was living locally. And the FBI is now involved, although here in Washington they're telling us that there is no indication of terrorism or anything like that, no indication that this person was on any sort of watch list. President Obama has been notified, no official word from the White House here yet, but obviously a lot going on there at the scene. The latest at least 14 dead, 10 of them on the scene, and another 50 people injured.
And Tracy, we were told that he was wearing some sort of costume with a riot hat, something along those lines. But I understand this is pretty common for people who go to see a Batman film, or at least the opening night.
Exactly, and so interestingly, because this was a Batman film, it was a midnight showing, lots of people dress up in costume. So when we're told he entered through the emergency door wearing a bulletproof vest and a riot helmet and goggles, it may not have looked all that unusual until he threw out that canister of tear gas and started shooting.
Yeah, there were reports that people in the theater actually thought the gunshots that were being fired at first were part of the movie because it was a violent scene in the film at that point. What are we hearing, Tracy, at this point about the suspect and the statement about explosives at his home?
Well, we don't know that any explosives have been found. They are certainly searching them. In fact, that apartment complex was evacuated shortly afterwards because he did start making statements after his arrest. He was arrested near a car in the parking lot, we're told, and then said, hey, I've got explosives hidden inside the theater. That was immediately cleared. His bomb squad started to look there, and then also at his home. So they evacuated the apartment complex. We saw robots approaching cars, taking a look in some of the cars at the complex or at the theater, but no indication yet, nothing that we've heard that any explosives were actually found.
All right, Tracy Potts joining us live in Washington, D.C. with the very latest on that shooting outside Denver, Colorado. Thank you, Tracy.
The nation